Hey everyone, I have been thinking a lot about this, and it's because a lot of girls have been asking about it, and even adults too have been asking me about this. But it's how do we do all the things? How do we balance being an athlete, being a student, being a sister, a daughter, a friend? How do we balance all of these things and be great at all of them? And I get this question like, how do you do school and softball? Like, how do you figure that out? Well, not just school and softball, but how do you be great at school and be a great athlete in softball? Or be a great softball player. And I have answers for you. I'd like to say this is something that I've created really good habits, and I've really been committed to this process. And being organized is my thing. It's my jam. So it's one of my favorite things to talk about and share because it's something that I really love and I take pride in. So how do you go from practice to lessons to the games and still get good grades? Or how do you get your homework done after a really long day of school, then practice, and then how do you get your homework done and still be prepared for school the next day? How do you get your homework done and still be a top-notch athlete and make sure you're hitting those goals that you have for yourself as an athlete competing? Ultimately, how do we do this without stressing ourselves out? Because this can be really stressful, trying to figure out all these things and putting the pieces together. It can be really, really stressful. And it's like, oh my gosh, I have so much on my plate. And then it's overwhelming, and then you just avoid it. And that's when we go downhill, right? That's when we miss things. That's when we don't get good grades on our tests or our assignments. That's when we are just like not doing what we want to do athletically on the field, and I'm here to help. So here is what you have to have in order to balance all these things, and this is going to help you in the long run. It's your habits, okay? It's your habits, it's time management, it is organization, and it is commitment. And you're probably thinking, yeah, Paige, I know that those are the things that I have to do in order to balance life and all of the things as a student athlete. So I know that you're like, I could have told myself that. So, but I'm gonna give you how to actually start doing these things, start practicing these things so you guys can be successful students, athletes, all of the things. My number one secret to being a successful student, athlete, business person, friend, family member, whatever role you're wearing, this is how I have had success in my life this far, and I am a work in progress as well. So I'm not perfect at this. It's a continuous practice. But the number one secret is my planner. Okay, whatever you want to call it, your planner, your agenda, your calendar. I highly suggest getting a written where you can write down in a planner, because that's what I was using for practically my whole life. It feels like and let me tell you a fun little story. When at school, like in grade school, middle school, high school, when they handed out those school planners, that was like my favorite day. So get excited for your planner when you start school, because it's going to be your new best friend. And yes, I'd had this planner from grade school all the way up until today, and I use my planner every day. It is like my second Bible, okay? It is, I cherish it very much. So how do you use this thing, right? You're like, okay, great, I have a planner, but I use it like once a week. How do you use this thing to your advantage so that you can start relieving that stress, so that you can be stress-free and go about your days and your weeks accomplishing the things that you want? I have a step-by-step process. So number one, know the end goal, okay? Your end goal can be anything from, if you have a test, a project, maybe you have homecoming or a school dance. Maybe that's a goal. One of the end goals, I know it's not like really a goal, but it's something in your life. Athletic goals, what do you want to achieve as an athlete, as that player? And then college goals or school goals or career goals, whatever they are. So you know the end goal. Write down your goals, okay? Step number 2, all right? Know the actions that you have to take in order to achieve those goals. Write down the steps. What do you have to do in order to achieve those goals that we talked about? For a test, you got to study, right? Maybe you got to make some flashcards. Maybe you have to do some practice quizzes, whatever that is. Athletic goals. Do you need to be, getting extra help in lessons, or do you need to go in your backyard and get work on a certain skill? College goals. Like, do you need to write down your top 10 schools? Do you need to reach out to those? Do you need to ask for help in areas? Like, what are the action goals that you need to take in order to achieve those goals? And then, like homecoming or like a dance or a party or some social event. Like, if you are going homecoming, you got to get certain things done. So what do you need to get done in order to, show up for the dance, right? Really easy stuff, guys. Like, just write it down, think it through, and line it out step by step. Number 3, after you've done those 2 steps, you know your goals, you know your action goals and your steps. Number 3 is write it down in your planner. Okay, so every time that you have a test or your teacher tells you have a test, write it down in your planner when it's due. Okay, and then work backwards. What are those action things? And start plugging those into your planner leading up to the test or the project. If you set a goal for yourself that you want to be the top hitter on your team by this date, X date. Like, what do you need to do leading up to that? And you need to start plugging that into your weeks so that you can accomplish your goals. What does writing it down do? First of all, you're never going to forget things anymore. That is a stress reliever in itself, right? Never forget. So as soon as you know something, write it down. If you have an idea, write it down. Okay? That way it's you're not losing it, right? It's there, you have it written down, you're not going to forget it. You're going to start taking action because you're actually writing these things down in your planner, and that is stress reliever. Like, that you're getting the work done, right? That because it's in your planner, you're going to get it done, or you're more likely to get it done. And then lastly, you're staying organized, right? Knowing that you're organized, you have things under control, you got this thing down, like, that is going to relieve so much stress for you. And that is the end goal. We don't want you to be stressed out, because when we're stressed out, we don't accomplish anything, and we're just running around with a chicken with our head cut off. So, these are the 3 things that I want you to start trying to do in your planner. No, not trying. I want you to do with your planner, because this is what's going to get you on track. This is what's going to create those habits, time management, organization, and that commitment to yourself. This is how you are going to balance all the things and feel awesome doing it. This is something that we work on very in depth in the Mental Game Mentorship. This is what I work on with my girls. This is what I'm teaching them. I'm teaching them how to do these things, how to set these goals, what actions to take, and I'm holding their hand through along the way, and they are crushing it. So if you want extra help, and if this is something that you struggle with and you need more help in this area, I am here for you. I love the planner. I love teaching and sharing how to be successful and how to balance all these things. So if you are interested in more help, just send me a message at pagetons@gmail.com, or you can send me a message on my Instagram, in my DMs, wherever you can find. Just send me a message and we will get started. Talk to you soon. Bye.